You have been planning this robbery for 11 months. The vault opens in 4 hours. The crew is ready. The exit routes are clean. Every variable you could control has been controlled. And the 6 people sitting in this warehouse right now, checking equipment, running sequences, trusting you completely, have no idea that acceptable margin of error includes them. Your handler at the bureau calls it an operation. Your crew calls you Danny. In 4 hours, one of those things stops being true. You look around the warehouse. Marcos checking the thermal charges, Ellis running the comms frequencies, Sable going over the floor plan for the 14th time. Chen and the 2 brothers loading equipment with the efficiency of people who have done this before and intend to do it again. 6 people, 11 months, 4 hours. You feel nothing. That is not a problem. That is the job. You have been undercover for 7 years, across 4 operations. You did not become a different person for each one. That is the mistake younger agents make. They perform, they build a character, and they inhabit it. Eventually, the performance exhausts them, and they make errors that performances make. You do not perform. You adapt. Danny Reeve is not a character. He is a set of behavioral parameters, professional reputation built across 3 years of carefully managed exposure, record of 2 prior jobs that your bureau constructed with enough real texture to survive scrutiny, skill set that is genuine because your skill set always was. You know how to plan a heist because you spent 9 years studying how heists fail, the vault timings, the guard rotations, the camera architectures, the pressure points and security infrastructure where human error compounds into opportunity. Danny Reeve is just what that knowledge looks like from the other side of the law. The Bureau placed you in Marcus Webb's orbit 14 months ago. Webb is the target, not the crew, never the crew. The crew are leverage. Webb is a mid-level coordinator for a criminal network that has moved $300 million through legitimate real estate in 4 cities over 6 years and left almost nothing traceable. The Callaway Vault, $14.7 million in negotiable bonds. First time Webb has gone operational himself. Your job was to get inside the operation, document Webb's involvement, and signal the arrest team. You got inside. Webb trusted you enough to make you the planner. 3 weeks ago, Webb pulled out. Liability concern. His lawyer advised him. Don't be present, don't be traceable. Left you running a crew of 6 toward a vault. Your handler still wants the vault opened because Webb's network needs the bust to happen. The bust needs the heist to happen first. So you are here, in this warehouse, 4 hours out, feeling nothing. The Callaway building has 4 security layers. Perimeter, handled by Ellis on comms, frequency cycling every 90 seconds through the guard rotation channels. Structural, thermal charges Marcos carries will open the anteroom door in 11 seconds without triggering the pressure sensors because you identified the sensor blind spot during a building inspection 14 months ago that you arranged through a contact your handler provided. Vault, biometric and timed. The timed element opens at 2 a.m. on a maintenance cycle every 3rd Thursday. Biometric element was solved 6 weeks ago when Sable acquired a secondary access credential from a building employee whose gambling debt was purchased and restructured by a man who does not officially exist. Exit, 3 routes. Primary through the loading bay on the north side, secondary through the utility corridor to the adjacent building, tertiary, the one your handler insisted on, passes directly through the arrest team's perimeter. You did not tell the crew about the arrest team. You did not tell the arrest team about the tertiary route. The plan is clean, 11 months of clean. In 4 hours, it stops being a plan and becomes an event. And events do not always run clean. Sable finds you at the equipment table. She's 34, former military logistics, the most operationally precise person in the warehouse, and the one person in the crews whose read of a situation you have never been able to fully predict. She says, "The guard rotation changed." You look at her. How do you know? Because I checked it this morning and it changed from what you gave us last week. You already know. Your handler flagged it at 6 p.m., a scheduling change at the building. 1 guard replaced by 2, the rotation compressed from 90 minutes to 60. An administrative decision made by a building manager with no connection to anything. a coincidence with consequences. You gave the crew the original rotation. You have known about the change for 4 hours. When did it change, you say? 3 days ago, according to the building's internal schedule. How did you get the internal schedule? She looks at you the way Sable looks at things. Direct, assessing. The specific quality of attention that has made her exceptional at her job and is making her dangerous right now. She says, the same way you should have. I checked. The warehouse is quiet behind her. Marcos has stopped working with the charges. Ellis has 1 year on comms and 1 year on this conversation. You have been in rooms like this before. The moment when a variable recalculates and the people around you recalibrate before the recalibration becomes a problem. You say, I know about the rotation. Sable's expression does not change. When did you know? This afternoon. I've been running adjusted timings. And you didn't tell us. Because the adjustment is minor, and I didn't want the team running a different sequence 4 hours before entry. She holds your eye for 3 seconds. Then she nods, once. The specific nod of someone who has accepted an answer they aren't entirely satisfied with and filed the dissatisfaction for later. She goes back to the floor plan. Marcos goes back to the charges. Ellis goes back to the frequencies. Your heart rate has not changed. Your hands are completely still. You feel nothing. That is the job. The Callaway vault opens at 2:04 a.m., 4 minutes behind schedule because the adjusted guard rotation added 1 variable. The vault is exactly what the schematics said it would be. Steel walls, climate-controlled, 14.7 million in negotiable bonds in 3 locked drawers that Chen opens in 90 seconds. The crew moves with the efficiency of 11 months of planning. No words, no hesitation. Each person exactly where they are supposed to be, doing exactly what they are supposed to do. You watch them work, and somewhere underneath the clinical assessment, underneath Danny Reeve, something surfaces for approximately 4 seconds that you do not have a professional term for. These people are good at this. Not good in the way that makes them dangerous, good in the way that makes them real. 11 months of proximity has rendered them specific in a way that targets are not supposed to become. Sable's precision, Marcos's patience, Ellis's particular humor on comms at 2 a.m. when the frequency cycling gets tedious. You know them. That is not a problem. You feel nothing. The bonds are in the bag. Chen seals it. Sable signals clear. Marcos and Ellis are already at the anteroom. Your hand goes to your jacket pocket where the signal device sits. One press, the arrest team moves. The perimeter closes. The operation ends. You press it. And then Marcos stops. Marcos stops at the anteroom threshold and turns around. He's looking at you, not at the door, not at the exit route, at you. He says, Danny. You say, move. He says, the rotation that changed, you knew before this afternoon. The anteroom is 12 feet wide. The arrest team is 4 minutes out. The crew is looking at Marcos, looking at you. And the warehouse of 11 months of trust is recalculating in real time. He says, I've been doing this for 16 years. I know what a controlled operation feels like from the inside. He is completely calm. I knew before we went in. I just needed to see the vault open first, to know if you'd actually let it happen. The arrest team is 3 minutes out. He says, was any of it real? You look at him, and for the first time in 11 months, in 7 years, you do not have an immediate answer.